All right, shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Azariah. I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Hashem, Mashiach, Malak, Yahushua. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered across the four corners of the earth, learning and or teaching His gospel in truth and sincerity. Salaki. And what we want to do is, I didn't think I'd ever do one of these videos before, but what I wanted to do was, I'm gonna do a John 3:16 video, and I'm gonna expound upon that precept, right? We know about that verse, and we know how, coming up, modern day Christianity has misused that to the fullest. How you thinking that, God's talking about the whole world, right? The whole world, and it was a bunch of madness and confusion, and you couldn't, your mind was right because of the brainwashing that was done by our oppressors to understand the Bible correctly, and a lot of it based thoroughly off of that one verse, with the whosoever and whatnot, and the reason it's in my spirit, to touch upon this, the Most High brought it through Yahawah to bring it upon me to do this lesson. The idea to do this was because, for one, it was a video that woke me up, man. And I'm sure a lot of people became aware or started to become aware of the fact of knowing that they're an Israelite off of John 3:16 breakdown videos. Those are big key ones to see John 3:16 broken down properly. But what I'm also going to do even after that is take it a step further, knowing that it's even talking more than just about the world of Israel once knowing. So let's go ahead. This will take a couple seconds to break down, of course, John 3:16 for those who may be fresh, brand spanking new to find out they're an Israelite, or maybe just seeing this video for the first time, and maybe the Most High wakes them up, or has them starting getting into questioning mode, off of videos like this, just such as I have been, So let's go ahead. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Now, a lot of times the confusion is dealt with that world and that whosoever. So when we go into the world aspect, let's get into that real quick. We have to understand definitions, right? We have to understand words and how they can have multiple meanings, because the language and this English language has been changed, manipulated over the course of time, has grown, so to speak. It's Esau's language, right? And we're speaking in a different tongue, but they have old meanings, and they have different words have different meanings as well, depending on the context in which they're being used. So, for example, let's go into the word world, right? The earth together with all of its countries, peoples, and natural features, right? That's one definition that most people get hung up on, that is talking about the whole entire, world with everybody included, right? Now, if you look at definition 2, it says a region or group of countries, right? A region, a group of countries, and there's even more definitions, right? But we want to get the one that's pertaining to this, right? Let's do this, right? Let's just to show you guys that may be unaware, right? If we go into the etymology for the word world, human existence, the affairs of life, also a long period of time. Now jump down with me. Original life on earth, this world, as opposed to afterlife, since extended to the known world, then to the physical world, and broader sense, the universe. In Old English Gospels, the commonest word for the physical world was Mandian Geared, literally the middle enclosure, which is rooted in Germanic cosmology. All right, check this out. Germanic cosmology. Greek cosmos, the word meaning for cosmos. So the world is talking cosmos. Greek cosmos in its ecclesiastical sense of the world of people. Sometimes was written in the gospel as Manasseh, literally seed of man. So it's talking, listen how it's saying, world of people, right? You're talking cosmos, you can get multiple definitions, multiple things in which world is talking about, but it could also mean many different worlds, plural, right? It's talking about different world, like you have the world of basketball, right? The world, the Disney world. There's different worlds, right? That fits different sections of people. It's no different than when you go on Spotify and you listen to different people. They have the world of such and such artists or this and this, because you're listening to this specific genre or these specific artists that fit within that genre, right? So that's what it's getting into. It's a different separation. It's a separation of people. That's their world. Like you heard the saying before, you're in your own world, like, right? That's what it goes down to when you use the context of these words. And we can get that in the Bible, right? John 3:16. Let's get it and see who that this world is talking about. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahawah with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. See, look at that. Confounded world without end. So Israel shall be saved in Yahawah with the everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. That's the world that it's talking about. The world of Israel, right? For starters, we're doing it's a separation here. How do we know? We go precept upon precept, line upon line. When you go into the Bible, Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. And that Lord is talking, his name is Yahawah, by the way. But that's another lesson for people who may just be coming in. The name of the Lord is truly Yahawah, right? He says, I am the Lord your God, and none else. My people shall never be ashamed. So he's talking about Israel. He's in Israel and no other God. He's never dealt with any other nation. So this is how we know what that world was talking about in John 3:16, right? It's, again, cosmos. So for those, maybe just coming in, that's your John 3:16 breakdown. Maybe just learning, maybe just stumbling upon something this for the first time, Like I said, just as I came across a couple John 3:16 breakdown videos, to lead me in that path, because this is the most misused verse. This verse is the most misused verse in the terms of Christianity. That's the number one go-to when they're trying to prove salvation is for everybody. Right? Until you come in and you find out the Bible doesn't speak on that at all. So now what we're going to do now, though, is we're going to take it a step further and go even further beyond with this thing, right? This is going to be more so to brothers and sisters. It'll be for the same group too, so people know, even coming in, and even for brothers and sisters who already know that they're Israel, but need to take that next step, or have taken a step but need to understand further. Yahawah willing is edifying. So this world here that the Most High is talking about, we know the nation. Now that we've eliminated that, we know that the nation that the Most High was talking about is Israel. He goes even further to speak about his elect of Israel, right? He's speaking about particular people in Israel. This is not for everybody, right? This isn't for everybody. Let's go to the book of, forgive me if I think I remember. It should be John. Still, I'm going to go to John 17:9. Right? Watch this. This is Yahawah, the Lord and Savior, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is speaking, right? In red letter, John 17:9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Now, and this we go even further, right? Because a cut to even, again, for people who still we're a little unsure, maybe on the fence, that he's not talking about the whole world of everybody. He's saying he's praying not for the world in this aspect, but earlier in John 3:16, we saw that he says, hey, God so loved the world, right? Well, here it is. I pray for them. I pray not for the world. Now, this is double on, right? He's talking about, definitely about other nations, but this is already known. You have to believe, of course, because when Yahawah walked the earth, the Lord and Savior, whose real name is Yahawah Mashiach, walked the earth, He was dealing with Israel. He was doing teaching for the disciples, for those that were his. So he said, I pray not for the world. So you have to believe, right, with this, and we're going to get further precepts to prove it. The world is actually talking about those who are his, of the world of Israel. Those who are his. And he goes on and further elaborates on that. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine, which thou hast given me. And now all of Israel has been given to him. We're going to keep reading and it's going to, the Bible's going to explain that. Verse 10, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to thee. Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. So again, so this is specific people, even within the nation of Israel itself, who the Most High, whose real name is Yahawah, right, has given Yahawah Shah Hamashiach. These people that were chosen to believe on him. Verse 12, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in my name. Though, here he goes again, saying it again. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled, which is referring to Judas, who of course betrayed him. But he was never really of his. It was just like he said, so the prophecy may be fulfilled. Verse 13, and now come I to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shalt keepest them from evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So when we go here, and let me go further on. Verse 20. Let's jump down to verse 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which believe on me through their word, that they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And it keeps going further. He is speaking to these specific people that believe in him, that believe on him. I'm going to go to verse 25. O righteous Father, the world hath not known thee, but I have known thee. And these have known that thou hast sent me. And I have declared unto them thy name, and will declare it, that the love wherewith thou hast loved me may be in them, and I in them. Now, this is definitely talking about a specific set of people. How do we know? We have precepts to further expound upon, and it goes even, we're still staying in the book of John. This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 37. This is how we know that even with John 3:16, it's not even talking about all of Israel. See, it's a process of elimination. All right, verse 34. Just in case people want to see, this is what we're dealing with. Looking at these Venn diagrams, let's look at one of those. Right, it gets smaller and smaller. It gets smaller and smaller each time, because you're thinking it's the whole world. Then you realize the circle gets even smaller. Now you realize it's not talking about every single body. Then you realize it's only talking about Israel. But then even within Israel, you figure out it's only talking about a subset of people even within them. Let's go to John 8 and 37. Back to that. We'll start at 36 actually. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are, because they mentioned it. Remember, this is how Yahawah speaking to the Pharisees for context. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahawah saith unto them, if ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. Now, what does that mean? That means that there's a subset of people even within, like, because he did mention, right? He did mention here in 37, I know you are Abraham's seed. So Yahawah is acknowledging that these Pharisees, who are Israelites, are from the seed of Abraham, right? But he's also saying, when you go down, which we just read, that they're not of Abraham because they won't do the works of Abraham. That's what that tells you. Now, this is not going in, letting in an open, easy door pass for other nations to claim it because they came from Abraham as well. No, this is still strictly within the realm of Israel, and we'll see more precepts on that. But he's saying because they won't do the works of Abraham, they lack that faith, that ultimate faith that Abraham had. Even he knew about Yahawah would be to come. He knew that was future prophecy to come. The Most High gave him that. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of Yahawah. This did not Abraham, right? Abraham didn't reject this. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even Yahawah. Yahawah said unto them, if Yahawah were your father, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from Yahawah, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? He said, look, if Yahawah were your father, look, oh my goodness, why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a look at now, check that out. He said, you of your father the devil, right? He's saying that the devil was claiming, Satan, Hashatan, has claimed this set of people of Israel, right? He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Look at that, man. He speaketh of his own. See, this is the thing. These people, despite the fact that they were Israel, he's saying they're not of Yahawah. They're not of Abraham. So how was Yahawah loving something that's not even his, or someone, or people's, or some people that are not even his? And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you convinces me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me? He that is of Yahawah heareth Yahawah's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of Yahawah. Right? Then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan, hast a devil? Yahawah answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me. And I seek not my own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets, and thou sayest, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste death. Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself? Yahawah answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God. Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say, I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you. But I know him and keep his saying. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Look at this now. This shows you that he's saying these guys, look, these guys don't even belong to the Most High. He's letting you know that they don't belong. He's telling them they don't belong to the Most High. They can't understand his speech because they hear not his word. And he went on to say that their fathers of Hashatan. Let's get the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, in verse 8. Thus saith Yahawah, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. And I look at that. So a new wine found in the cluster, right? So I would, my servant's sake, I may not destroy them all. Speaking, of course, of the nation of Israel, as precept upon precept states, right? There's a cluster, gang of grapes, right? Lure of grapes that are together, that hold them together. And he's saying that cluster right there that's the blessing, right? That's the blessing there. So he's not trying to destroy all of Israel because of them, this elect. And check it out, verse 9. I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah an inheritor of my mountains, and mine elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell there. There he is. So he's talking about the elect, the chosen, those that are of the seed of Abraham, truly, by works, by faith and works. And the belief in Yahawah is where it starts there. So that shows you, even with the world that he loves is the new world. The new is what's going to be the elect, the new nation of Israel, right? And this is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahawah have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thou seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahawah, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. And this children of the promise is the elect chosen. It's showing how special it is. This whole verse is showing how special it is to be the elect. See, a lot of times this verse is read just to show how special it is to be Israel. And it is stated in this because it is breaking down all the other nations. It is eliminating. But this Romans 9 goes through the whole process of elimination. And I may even do another future lesson on that. But that just shows you right there. Not all of Israel is of Israel. Right? I'll go to verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither have done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yahawah according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So yeah, look, that even John 3:16 is talking about the elect of Israel, the chosen. So I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem Mashiach, Malak Yahushua. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered across the four corners of the earth, learning and or teaching this gospel in truth and sincerity. Till next time, Yahawah willing, Shalom.